Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Or good afternoon and good evening, whatever time you are watching this. I'm going to move this a little bit over so I can look at you guys. It's a little bit higher than what I wanted, but it is what it is. We're going to rock with it. So I hope that you guys have been having an awesome week thus far. I hope that things have been going well. The rest of last week, we met on Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then up until today, and then we have another Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we're just kind of going, and I hope that it's been great. I hope that you are feeling rejuvenated, and if you aren't, hopefully after this call, you will be. Good morning. Good morning. Um, Hopefully you will be. So there has been a reigning theme in my mind, and it has been about gifts. It has been all about gifts. Why? I don't know. But that has been something that has been laid on my heart. I just posted a video about that yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So I was talking about just doing it, whatever has been laid on your heart. If it's a book that you need to start writing, if it's something that you need to post, if you need to speak, if you need to start making videos about your products, if you need to start advertising, if it's where whatever it may be, it was do that thing. Whatever's been laid on your heart, do that thing and follow it. And I am telling you, it will not steer you wrong. And so I wanted to continue with that because I had tuned in, okay, to church right on Sunday. And I heard these three verses. I wrote them down. It was three verses that he opened up the sermon with. And um, y'all, say a quick prayer for my computer, please, because I hear it doing the same thing that I did before. And I'm just going to take a breath because I'll get into how things have been going for me. But it literally this is going to be part of our whole story today, our whole thing. But yeah, I need to say prayer. So Lord, just please bless my computer and allow things to go smoothly. It does what it does, and that's okay. And however it plays out, we will roll with it. But I just ask that you be with us and be with this computer and allow it to go smoothly, okay? And get this word out. All right. So y'all must have started praying because I just heard it. Like it starts to ramp up and you can hear it. Like it sounds like it's working really, really hard. And then it just started to smooth out and just go down. So I thank you. I thank you guys. But so he started out with a verse, right? And it was Second Corinthians 9:7. That was the first one. Let me make sure that was the first one. Yes, that was the first one. And it said, "You must each decide in your heart how much to give, and don't give reluctantly or in response to pressure. For God loves a person who gives cheerfully." So I know y'all, if you haven't heard the whole thing, you've heard a certain version of it. And it's usually used in conjunction with the pastor asking for tithes, which it's time to tithe, and we're saying that God loves a cheerful giver, and you should give and all that good stuff. And that's what he was talking about when he referenced this. But I got something a little bit different, especially as we continue going through the verses. So we know that we've got to decide that, one, we're going to give. And then two, how much are we willing to give? How much are we going to give? And we know that God loves it when we give. I mean, he loves us regardless, but he definitely loves when we are sharing, when we are giving, when we are uplifting, when we are helping, because that's the whole point of us being here. We're not here to just stay in our silos and just do our own thing. We are here to help one another. So when we do that and we exercise the reason why we've been placed on this earth, he's like, yes, yes, I love to see it. So this is what it's saying. So as we continue, 2 Corinthians 9:8, it says, and God will generously provide all you need. Then you will always, always, and I had to underline, always have everything you need and plenty. I should underline that too. Plenty left over to share with others. So hold up. So you're telling me that if I give, then you will not only provide what I need, but you will generously provide what I need. And I will always have everything. That should have been another one. So if you're writing this down, I want you to underline all these. You will, first of all, generously, and God will generously provide all you need. Then you will always, always have everything you need and plenty left over to share with others. Plenty is another one. So we want to underline that. So I'm like, okay, all right. So when you give, he's going to provide generously all that you need, and that you will always have everything that you need. And then not only that, you're going to have plenty left over to share with others. So then as we continue, 2 Corinthians 9:11, it says, yes, you will be enriched in every way so that you can always be generous. And when we take your gifts to those who need them, they will thank God. So my mind, I know he was using that for tithes, but in my mind, the concept of gifts, our personal gifts, what's been instilled inside of us popped up in my brain. Because since I was younger, and if you guys have been rocking with me, you know this. Since I was younger, about in middle school, I would ask people, and that was something that I would always do. I'm not really sure why, but it was I was obsessed with purpose. So I would ask older individuals, so adults, hey, um, do you think you're living in your purpose? Do you think you're doing the things that God has called you to do? Do you think that you're living in what it is that you've been called to do? And I tell you this, I never got a yes. But what I did receive is a lot of, well, no, but those. I have a family to feed. I have bills to pay. I have a whole house. I have a mortgage. My family depends on me. I can't just up and leave and just do something different. Do I know what I'm supposed to be doing? And the majority, that was the thing. The majority of them knew what they were supposed to be doing. They knew what had been laid on their heart. They knew where God was leading them. They knew what they should be doing, but they were choosing not to because of external things. And I'm I'm like, here, had I known that then, I would have showed them. And so a lot of times when we're contemplating whether we want to step out, or whether we really want to follow our hearts, or whether we really want to pursue our passions and where we feel called to go, we hesitate because of a number of reasons. Because of, like they had said, you have bills to pay. You don't know if you're going to be able to have enough. You don't know if it's going to work out. You don't know if you're going to fail. You don't know if people are going to be receptive of you. You don't know if it's going to be something that actually works. You don't know. It's all these things that we ask ourselves that honestly you aren't in the position to even answer. You have no idea. We don't know. I can't tell you. You can't tell yourself. The only time that we do know is that actually when we step out and we do the things that we're supposed to be doing. That's when you find out. But a lot of people don't even get there because we stop ourselves at the excuses. We stop ourselves at the limitations that we have. And we don't realize, one, and if we do know, we don't take it and soak it in to where we really understand and believe it, that it says it right here. And God will generously provide all you need. Then you will always have everything you need and plenty left over to share with others. So, the things that we're contemplating, whether they're going to be taken care of, whether this is going to, you know, this is going to be it. And I understand, because when we step out, we don't want it to be where we're stepping out and it just barely scratches the surface. And yeah, we're getting by, but we're barely getting by. Yeah, we have everything that we need, but I would like to go on vacations. I would like to be able to go out to eat. I would like to be doing these, this and whatever else you would like to do. So, no, we don't want to necessarily live like that. So, when we're talking about stepping out, when we're talking about starting this business, when we're talking about investing in these things, when we're talking about starting our speaking career, when we're talking about writing our book, we want to make sure that beforehand, before we step out, it's going to be successful. And the way that most of us define success is that, hey, when we write this book and we put this thing out, people are going to be receptive of it. People are going to pay their money for it. People are going to be want to see me speak. They're going to hire me to speak. I'm going to be speaking everywhere. When I open the doors to my business and I have my grand opening, people are going to be waiting for it to be opened. And they're going to come in my doors and I'm going to have a lot of customers. I want to make sure that things are going to go right before I step out. But I'm here to tell you, I'm here to break the news. I'm sorry, but it doesn't work that way. We usually do not know before we actually do the thing whether the thing is going to be successful in the way that we're placing it. And so there's another part of this that we may cover. That's another day as far as our definition of success. But we'll just stick with what the norm is. There's not a definite answer for that. There's no guarantee that your business is going to skyrocket the moment that you cut the ribbon. There's no guarantee that your book sales are going to skyrocket the moment that you publish it and you put word out on social media. It just doesn't. There is no guarantee. But what is guaranteed is that all your needs will be taken care of. So that's something that we can hang our hats on, knowing that, hey, if I step out, everything that I need to be able to continue this journey on my way to success, because I don't know where my success lies. I don't know where my breakthrough is. I don't know where it's just going to pop off and people are going to be there and be supporting me and going to be, feeding me financially. I don't know where that is on my journey. It could be where I first start. It could be in the middle. It could be somewhere near the end, and it could be at the end. Who knows? But I know during this journey, during this time that I'm traveling, I will always be taken care of. So it doesn't matter really how long it takes. I don't care what happens on the way there. I know that I'm traveling there. I know that at the end, what to expect. I know that I am going to be successful. Success is written on me. Once this, and that's what I want you guys to really understand, is that once this thing has been placed in your heart, once it's something, this burning desire that you have, this gift that you have to share with the world, you were not given that gift just to hold it and just say, oh, I love this. People say I'm good at this thing, but I just do this on the side. You know, I don't really dabble in it too much. I really work this job, but that I don't really care for. But I do this thing that brings me joy and brings other people joy. I just do this, a couple days a week, or I do this on the weekends, or I do it a couple hours. That's not, it's a great place to start. That's not a great place to end. It's not. So once this thing has been placed in our hearts, once this burning desire is there, once we recognize our gifts, it's time to share them. It's time to share them. And once it's been placed there, we know that it's been marked with success. It's not where we're going to step out. And we are not, it's not going to be prosperous. You have prosperous written all over you. It's there. If you ever feel like, oh, I'm supposed to be this. And I've talked to a couple people who felt like they were supposed to be wealthy. They're supposed to be able to, hey, Nikki, they're supposed to be able to give to people. They've seen this vision of themselves. I'm supposed to be this. I'm supposed to be living this type of lifestyle. Your lifestyle is wrapped in your gifts. I'm going to tell you that. It's wrapped in what was placed inside of you. So if you're not seeing that come to fruition, it's because you're not fully dipping into your gifts. You aren't yet on that path. You're not yet on that path and you're not believing in that path. So once you step into it, I'm telling you, it's not that necessarily the doors of gold will open for you and everything will go your way. It's not that. And I'm not going to tell you that because that would be a lie. But I can guarantee you that at some point along your journey, those doors are going to open wide up. They're going to open wide. And there's nothing that's going to be able to shut them at some point along your journey. But I want to highlight this is that when we do step out, so when when I'm saying that it's somewhere along the journey, we don't know where it is. When we decide, and that's what it says, right? You must each decide in your heart how much to give. When we decide to give, to share our gifts, that's us making a commitment. And I made a video about that too, but I haven't released it. But commitment is talked about a lot, right? It's talked about a lot, it's thrown around a lot, especially in conjunction with goals. But what's kind of glazed over sometimes is the fact that commitment, what it comes with and what it brings. So once we make that decision and once we step out, it's almost like you're calling things to you to prepare you for that time that the doors open. Because here's the thing, we have desires, we have goals, we have things that we want to do, we have things that we want to achieve. The only reason why we haven't done those things, the only reason why we haven't achieved those goals is because we aren't yet that person. So once we say, hey, you know what? I have these gifts. I have these gifts to share. I have this passion in my heart. I have this calling that I feel, and I want to share it with the world. I make that decision to step out of my boat and I do the thing, then that is essentially me saying, hey, I'm committed to this. And I want you to give me everything that is going to prepare me for when those doors open. I want to be the person that matches the goals that I set, the things that I desire. And so do not be caught off guard if things come your way that are not necessarily favorable or don't seem favorable to you. Things that seem to discourage you, things that seem to try and knock you off your path, that seem to point you in the other direction and tell you that, hey, you're going the wrong way. People don't actually like what you're doing. Stop it, go this way. Don't keep coming this way. You're gonna fail. There, you will see all the bright lights of those things. But I tell you this, do not feed into them because it's not there to discourage you. It's not there to knock you off your path. It's not there to say, okay, you're doing something wrong and you need to turn around. It's not that. It's actually telling you just the opposite. You're doing the right thing. Keep going. Keep going. And that is where the commitment lies. Is just, what am I going to do when I'm facing the things that are not favorable, when I'm facing the things that I really wish I didn't have to go through, because that is going to happen. That is going to happen. So there's another thing that I want to cover is just managing our expectations, right? Managing our expectations of what it is that we expect That's the whole thing about expectations. So it's okay to have goals. It's okay to set intentions. It's okay to have desires and saying, okay, I want to be here. I see myself here. This is what I am expecting when I put out these gifts. I want to be here. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But when I'm talking about managing those expectations, I meant the timeline. I meant what you expect by what you give. So, are you saying that you're going to give and then immediately I expect to be here? Are you going to be checking every 5 seconds whether your video is performing well, whether you're getting comments, and then using that as validation as to whether you should continue or whether you should stop or whether you're good enough? Is it where I'm going to write one book and I'm going to put it out, and then if X amount of people don't buy into it, then oh my gosh, you know what? I shouldn't be a writer. I should just give up and I should go back to wherever I was. Is it where you cut the ribbon and then you sit there for a couple of days and you don't have any customers? Then you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should just sell it. Maybe I should just back out. Maybe this wasn't the right decision. Th- And this is where a lot of people are stopped. This is where a lot of people give up because we haven't tailored our expectations. We didn't get on the path and with the understanding that at some point along this journey, the doors are going to open. All I need to know is that I'm on the right path. But me finding out and me making sure that I'm on the right path does not come from external validation. And so that's the last thing, is that we cannot seek external validation as a as a means of bringing us some type of ease that we are on the right path, that we are doing things the right way, that we should continue to go, that we should not give up, that we could, because it doesn't always come. And it doesn't always come the way that you think that it's supposed to be. So that ties back to our expectations. It's not always that way. So we can't look for other people to now do what we thought that they're supposed to do in order to bring us some confirmation that we're on the right path. That's like you trying to control what other people are thinking. You can't do it. You're going to fail every single time, or it's going to let you down every single time. So don't even set yourself up for it, because you're just setting yourself up for failure. But what we can do, and that's one of the things, if you're going to seek external opinions, one of the things that you can do is before you even start. So just like we do market research for businesses, when we're starting a business, we're analyzing the market and seeing, okay, what is the need? And then the need, we're looking at the need, right? And how does the need fit in with my gifts? And how can I merge those things together so that not only am I providing a service for people, I'm providing a service for people that they need. So I'm helping. I am helping in a grand way. And so it's the best when we can merge that passion with need. But that's something that we do on the onset. And then people may come up to you before you even start diving into your gifts and say, you know what, you bake really good cakes. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, if you opened up a bakery, I would be the first in line. Oh my goodness. What? Girl, you did those nails? Oh my gosh. What? You should open up a shop. These different things that people will say, and sometimes we take it for granted, and sometimes we brush it off because we're like, oh, they're just being nice. Oh, they kind of have to say that. They know me, or whatever that may be. But stop brushing it off. Actually listen to these people. Actually listen to what people value about you. Actually listen to what sticks out about you, because that will give you insight into what your gifts really are. A lot of people are running around like, oh, I don't know what I do that's special. I don't know what I bring to the table. I don't know what my gifts are. I don't know what that thing is that I could even do. Well, start paying attention. Start paying attention, and you will be able to find out. You will be able to find out. And it's not necessarily saying that you will be the best at it when you start. Because I tell you this, I wasn't the best speaker, and I'm still not the best speaker. However, I am very good. But that's the confidence that we need, right? But I wasn't the best speaker when I started. In fact, when I started, oh my gosh, I remember in college, I remember being called on to read in class. And one of the things that I hated was speaking out loud. I hated reading out loud. I hated speaking out loud. I'm just like, look, I'm in class. Don't call on me. I'm still here. I'm present. We don't have to do all that. So he made the decision to call on me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I had to read a paragraph. And I tell you this, I took my little finger and I'm just going and I'm reading, but I'm stuttering and I am spilling over every single word that I go over. And I'm like, you must, like, I promise you that probably everybody in my class thought I couldn't read, but I'm, I am just messing over every single word to the point where I couldn't even, like, the teacher didn't even allow me to finish the paragraph. He noticed how uncomfortable I was. And it was just bad. I remember wishing I could just fall to the floor. And so I think he felt that and was just like, okay, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Okay, can you finish? Can you pick up where she left off and call somebody else? I'm reading in class. I'm not even reciting anything. I'm not speaking in front of anybody. I'm not on stage. I'm not in front of the class. I'm in my seat and I am literally reading words that are on the paper right in front of me. And I couldn't even do that. So it's not necessarily where that might be might be something that you are gifted at. There weren't people before I started speaking. There weren't people who told me that, oh man, you should speak, because I sucked. Like I was not good. I was not good. So nobody told me that that's something that you should really look into, Christina. Oh my gosh, if you keep going, you could be one of the top speakers. No, it wasn't. It was something that I saw. It was something that I felt. And also I kept being guided in that direction. Even when I didn't want to, even when I tried to avoid it, God kept steering me in this direction. And so when I was in college, even dealing with this stuff, I was placed in a class that at the end of the class, I had to do a full presentation. We had a mock court competition, and so I had to do that. And then I had a part in it that really wasn't that difficult. It wasn't that difficult. I wasn't going to be seen like that. It was cool. I was in the background. I was good. And at the last minute, my teacher, he was like, look, you know what? I don't want him. It was another guy that was supposed to be he was the defense attorney. And he told him he didn't want him to be the defense attorney anymore. I want Christina. And I'm like, you have lost your mind. Um, the actual date for this, for me to actually get up and do this whole thing, is like a couple of days away. How in the world am I going to memorize everything that he's supposed to be memorizing? And not only that, write a closing argument and memorize that. How am I supposed to do this? And he was like, well, you're going to do it. And I'm like, um, I don't have a decision in this? And come to find, I didn't. My grade relied on that. So I took it and I did what I could. And it ended up being so powerful to the point of where I did my closing argument and I got a standing ovation. Nobody's supposed to be clapping and standing up when you do a closing argument and you're in court. It just that's not supposed to work. But it did. And so from that, that pointed me more in the direction of where I'm supposed to be going. But and that's when I started getting the validation. That's when I started, people started saying, oh, you need to really, you're really good at this, you know? But that also came from me feeling so defeated when I read in class, and I'm like, I can't do this again. I didn't like the feeling. So every single day, I would read out loud to myself in my room. I would read to myself in the event that this would ever happen again. So I would act as if I was in class. I would act as if I was in front of people, and I would speak to myself, and I would hear my voice. I would hear my words. I would make sure that they were announced, they were enunciated correctly, that I was speaking effectively. Those were the things that I would be working on, not to become a better speaker, but because I didn't want to be embarrassed again. So God knew what he was doing. So all I'm saying is that you've got to pay attention. There are times that you will be guided, you will be directed. Where are you ending up at? What are the things that people are asking you for? What do people come to you for? What advice do people come to you for? What things are people telling you that you do well at? What are the things that you have seen yourself doing, even though it may not be the best thing that you're good at, or you think that you're the best at right now? What are the things that you've seen? So really get clear on what your gifts are. And then once we're clear on that, then we move to, okay, now I'm going to make that decision of, I'm ready to share my gifts with the world. I'm ready to share. And that's where that commitment is. And once we have that commitment, like I said, you're drawing in some stuff to be able to prepare you as you go on your journey. But understanding that somewhere along the way, the doors are going to open. I'm going to have my breakthrough. Things are going to work out. I am going to be a success. So affirming yourself every step of the way on the journey. I am successful. I am successful. And that's what we're going to discuss when we're talking about reframing our minds about success. A lot of times we're thinking about the end, and the end means that we are successful. Once we see that we're living the lifestyle, once we have the car, once we're able to provide for our families, once we're in a position where we can take vacations 4 or 5 times a year, once we're in a position where we can give generously, financially, that's when I'm a success. When people are buying my books, when they're lining up to see me, when they're I can't even get everybody in the door to my business, that's when I'm a success. But that's also the end. So what are you as you're traveling down this road to get there? You're not successful? I would beg to differ. To me, when you're on that path and you're trying, and you're waking up every day, and you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, and you're giving regardless of what your situation is showing you, you are a success, because you are destined to be there. That is not, you aren't a success once you reach there. You're a success now. You are a success right now as you're walking, no matter what it is, no matter if you're not getting anything financially, it doesn't matter. You are successful. So understanding that, and affirming that, yes, Charmaine, you are successful. That's one of the things that we've got to tell ourselves, is that I am on the way. I am on the way. I am on the way to my breakthrough. I'm on the way to the doors opening. I'm on the way to that vision that I have. And because of that, I am successful. I'm successful in everything that I do. Everything that I touch turns to gold. No matter if right now, and when I touch it, it looks like stone. Look, if I keep touching it, I keep rubbing on it, it's going to turn to gold. I know it. I know it will. And you've got to keep that. You've got to keep that, because you're going to need the motivation. You're going to need that inspiration. You're going to need that and that encouragement as you're going about your journey, because there are going to be things, like I said, that are going to hit you. It's going to hit you hard, and it's going to hit you from all types of ways. But I need you to understand that once you get hit, okay, look, I'm standing back up. I'm a success. You can't keep me down. I'm here. I'm here again. Hey, knock knock. You can't get rid of me because I know what's been placed inside of me. And I know if it's been placed inside of me, it is a need. It is needed. It is desired. And it is my duty to share it. And then I know that when I share that what you're gonna get rewarded. Your reward is there. It's there. So I want to end on that note is that look, yes, we're going back to 2 Corinthians 9:11. Yes, you will be enriched in every way so that you can always be generous. And when we take your gifts to those who need them, they will thank God. So that's one of the things that I always pray is that, Lord, look, when they see me, I want them to see you. Work through me so that I will be a reflection of you. And that's what we really are. So when we're spreading our gifts, when we're sharing our gifts, understand that you're going to be able it just you gotta think about it of where it's like common sense type of thing. If I'm giving and I'm doing the things that you would like me to do and I'm making you happy and it's something that you're just like, yes, I love it when they do that, do you not think that you're going to get more of whatever it is that you need so that you can continue down this journey? It's I give and I receive. The more that I give, the more I receive. And we talk about this all the time, especially with negativity and positivity, the things that we're thinking, when we're whatever we're putting out, that is what we are calling back. That is what we are going to receive. And it's the same thing with sharing your gifts. The more I give, the more I receive. And what it is that I need in the form that I need it in at that time. So I can feel confident at the fact that as I'm doing this, as I'm immersed in this, as I'm engaged in this, I know that I am going to receive. And I'm not only going to just receive, I'm going to receive generously. I'm going to have plenty. I'm abundant. This is why I'm saying y'all are abundant. That's another affirmation. I am abundant. I am abundant. I can give because I have more than what it is that I need. That's what I've been given. So don't fall for the excuses that are easy, the low hanging fruit that we can pick from and saying that I can't step out. I can't do this because of this. I can't really dive into that because I've got kids, because I've got a family, because I'm taking care of people, because I have a mortgage, because everybody has something. But we gotta just, it is what it is. I hang my hat on the fact that I am going to be blessed. I am going to hang my hat on the fact that I'm going to be rewarded. I'm going to hang my hat on the fact that I'm going to be taken care of. I'm going to be provided for every step of this journey. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what it feels like. God's got me. He's got my back. So I want you to go into this week. And if, like I said, you don't know what your gifts are, you don't know what it is that you can share with the world, then honey, it's time for you to start thinking about it. It's time for you to start paying attention. And if you do know, it's time for you to really sit down and just see, look, am I ready to make that commitment? And if I'm not, what's holding me back? Why aren't you? Why aren't you ready to step into it? Why aren't you ready to start sharing? Why aren't you ready to start posting? Why aren't you ready to start working on that business plan? What's holding you back? What's the real thing holding you back? And then you can get into that and discover that and sift through it so we can move it over and we can continue and we can get refocused on what it is that we're supposed to be doing. So I want y'all to do that for this week. And as always, I appreciate you being here. And look at this, my lovely computer stayed up and alive. Y'all, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. It's been quiet ever since I said y'all need to pray for it. Y'all need to pray for it. It's been silent. It has been silent. And I thank you. I thank you for everything. I thank you for your support. I thank you for your encouragement. I thank you for just being here. And I thank you for your prayers. Lord, we need it. You can never stop praying for me and my family and my computer and everything else. But I thank you for it. And I just appreciate y'all. So we're going to end out in prayer. It's been 40 minutes. Dear Lord, thank you for everything that you've done for us, everything that you continue to do for us. I thank you for constantly and consistently showing up and just being there and guiding us and opening up our eyes to the truth of who we are, what our gifts are, what we bring to the table, and how valuable we are. But I thank you for that. And for those who don't know or need a reminder, Lord, I ask that you be that reminder. I ask that you show them their gifts. I ask that you show them how valuable they are to you. But I ask that you just open up their eyes and just reveal and just show them, switch eyes with them and show them how you view them and how they are seen in your eyes so that they can catch a glimpse and be able to run with it. I thank you for the confirmation that you give. I thank you for the promises that you've given us today and just what it really means to share our gifts and what we would receive in doing so. So I thank you for that. I thank you for this word. I thank you for giving me the words to say. I thank you for being, yeah, I thank you. I thank you that I'm just your mouthpiece. I thank you that you're giving me what it is that I need to be able to share with others and be able to help them on their journeys. I thank you for just keeping us the rest of this week, next month, whatever it may be. I thank you for always being there. And I just want you to just cover everyone that is on this call, everyone that's watching the replay, just cover them with love, grace, peace, and mercy, and just allow them to just enjoy their life to the fullest. Lord, thank you for everything. Amen. All right, y'all. I appreciate you. And I will see you next week, same time, same everything. We'll be here. I'll be here. Hopefully you'll be here and we'll talk then. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.